Welcome everyone, this is Bushido RPG Heroes of Nippon Session 65. I'm RxOliver and these are my friends. Take it away, David.
Greetings all. So we start with you, nestled in the Valley of the Thousand Autumns. With Tim having been rather shell-shocked by the events of the last session.
Pardon? Tim was
Well, I seem
shocked.
Sorry, my apologies. Kinzo was shell-shocked by the events.
Oh, yes, I'll give you that.
Yes, a sudden 0.2% increase in his wit through no obvious means was a real shock. Anyway, sorry, not 0.2%, it was a 0.2 actual
0.2
value. Which would normally take a fair bit of training. But the Kami was obviously very pleased with what the party were doing and granted him a blessing so that he would be able to call on her successfully to try and determine where her wind chimes were so that you could progress towards them in an orderly manner and persuade, by whatever means, the people preventing their return to the valley to let them go. So we delayed the setting out of the party until the latest date, which, from memory, you'll be starting out on the morning of the 23rd Mutsuki, which is in fact the day of the new moon. Last night was the dark of the moon. Not necessarily the most auspicious beginning, because there's dark storm clouds overhead, so obviously the opposition are calling in the bad weather to try and slow you down. But do you wish to carry out a summoning of the Kami's blessing to try and find where the nearest wind chime is from here, Tim? Because that would possibly be able to be used later with the triangulation. Who knows? But do you wish to summon up the Kami's blessing?
Wasn't our first stop to be Oita and we were to go to the biggest temple there and speak to the high priest there? Was that not the first thing we were to do?
Agreed.
Yeah.
But
We still want the direction, I guess.
well, let me just move you to the map of the island.
I shall carry out the divination.
Very good. And let me just move you to a map of the island. And this is the overall layout of the island. You are actually in Bungo province. Let me put a little marker on the board for where you are. 1 second while I just figure out where it is on this map, because it's not the easiest way to transfer from a detailed map to the overall map. We'll try. Okay, so looking at that map, there is a little curve in the mountains here, and your valley is approximately hang on, that didn't work. 1 second. Sorry, I was trying to draw a circle and I failed miserably. Let me try and do it properly. There we go. That's the approximate location of the Valley of the Thousand Autumns.
We've got a Roll20 link for Benjy, Dave.
Ah, my apologies. Let me post that into the appropriate section.
Thank
Bum,
you.
bum, 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 bum. And I need to go.
He'll also need to put a character name and his player name into his character sheet.
Indeed. No doubt he has been considering what he is going to call himself.
Oh, I've got the name. Welcome, Benjy, by the way.
Hello, hiya. Yeah, I started filling in that sheet, and then Dave, in the conversation last night, said he was going to put in some bits, and I left it there so I can just do all of
You
that.
should find your Kuzarigama and Yuwara are there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
as far as I
Okay.
can tell, everything is there other than his character name and his person.
Okay.
Look, we can call him Oi Boy if that's what you want. Be a bit rude.
You better.
So let me just copy the link.
I guess it
And you
depends.
thought that nickname had escaped you, Benjy.
Well, yeah, you know. But yeah, I guess it depends how I get it inserted into the story. My character is only 17, so yeah, quite young.
Okay, so please click on the link that I've just pasted into Discord, Benjy.
Was that in the Nippon one?
No, in the THC. In the
Yeah, in THC Heroes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And hopefully that should mean that
I'll
you
also point out, Dave, that as Games Matter, you're not logged into the Roll20 either.
I've noticed that.
I was logged into Roll20, but I had to move out back to the home page in order to send the invite.
It should show up in the
Launch
chat
game.
for you
Let's
as the Games
go.
Master. There we go.
So hopefully you will find yourself.
I see a map.
You do.
That's
Good.
awesome.
Very good. Well, the map is generally the north is the yellow line, and I will give you a little bearing in degrees off north. And from where you are, this is only going to be approximate because bear in mind that you can't be exactly certain. But from that location, it is about 10 degrees off north.
What is?
Sorry, can you see the map?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't understand what you're talking about.
When you carry out the ceremony,
Do you want me to make a roll about that?
you make a roll, but given that you need to roll a 20 to fail, given your current skill in Shinten,
No, I can fail on a 90.
well, you rolled a 2, so all right, you'd fail on a 19 or 20, but on a 2, yes, you're pretty sure. You get a direction, and the direction is about 10 degrees off north, which from the Valley of the Thousand Autumns is that little yellow line you can see. Does that now make sense on the map?
Yep.
So it's the nearest one is somewhere in that direction.
He does this divination with the wind chime, doesn't he?
No.
No.
He kneels down at the beginning of the day and prays to the Kami and is granted her blessing of knowing which direction the nearest wind chime is that's not in his company.
And he can do that every day.
Yes. Now, the reason that you have the wind chime with you is because the High Priest feels that there's very little point in having just one wind chime in the valley.
This is it. The Kami
And
of the
you
wind.
may well be facing supernatural opposition.
And it's the Kami of the wind that Kinzo's talking to, right?
Nope, it's the Kami of winter warmth,
Ah, okay.
who is sleeping in the lake. Understood?
Well, if she's not careful, she'll be boiling in the lake.
Well, if you don't
If we
succeed
don't
in
succeed
your
our quest, yeah.
quest, well, she won't boil because kami are spirits, and it's very difficult to kill them with mundane means. But if the lake doesn't start to freeze come winter, you won't awake.
Fishermen are
would
still
mean-
taking fish out of the lake at the moment, aren't they?
At the
Oh
moment,
yes,
yeah.
yes. The lake is warming up slightly, but obviously it takes a while for the depths of the lake to warm up because hot water floats. But the springs seem to be getting hotter. I mean, think about it. If they get so hot that no water survives to flow into the lake, wouldn't that solve the problem? So if you don't go and find the wind charms, hot water will stop running into the lake because there will be, it'll all come out as steam. So wouldn't that solve the problem?
I don't think so.
It may seem a little simplistic solution.
Anyway, back to Nishiyama, was it?
Oita is where you were being.
No, Nishiyama is the first village, isn't it?
It's the on the way
We
to the
got the
lake.
boat.
Yes. 1 second while I move you back to the map. And so
Everyone
you
fully stocked
are
before we leave.
here. You are stocked up with food by the grateful peasants. The priest will attempt to grant you all a blessing before you go, I think. Let me just check and see what he's capable of doing. Dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum-dee-dum. Okay. So the basic powers of the Yokusho include offering you a blessing. So he can offer you blessings in Jnana Yoga, Hatha Yoga, or Raja Yoga.
You have to remind us
Okay.
the difference.
Okay, a blessing in Prana Yoga, sorry, in Jnana Yoga, would increase 1 mental attribute, your choice at the time of using the blessing, by knowledge over 5. So his knowledge in the yoga over 5. So it raises your current attribute score and all other scores based on your current value. So that would be wit saving throws if you choose to have it in wit.
Yeah.
Okay. Hatha Yoga will increase 1 physical attribute the same way. I believe somebody still has a blessing from the Kami. Yes?
Yeah, I think Kinzo still has one unused.
So still has a blessing in reserve. And Raja Yoga increases your hit points by a percentage equal to the knowledge in the yoga. So if he had 80 in Raja Yoga, you would get an increase of 80% in your hit points while the blessing lasts.
Till night.
Okay. Since it's coming from the priest, it will only last today. So if you have to use it today, then fine. If you don't use it today, then it will disappear at sunset. The one that Kinzo and you had lasted because it was granted by a kami.
I think I'll take the hit points one.
Okay. He will attempt to do it. second. Right, so. I forgot to check what. Yes, so that works. You make a note, it's an 85% increase.
Has to be used
What-
today.
Has to be used by nightfall
Okay.
or not.
Okay.
Okay. Would anybody else like a blessing?
Very much so. We'd like to go for the. Oh,
Go ahead.
What would you like it in?
I'd like to go for the wit save one, please. I'm going to spend the
Very
day talking very intelligently for a change to Yanagi and to Harumi.
Mm.
Or certainly more intelligent than I normally do.
It will only last 63 detailed turns.
They will think I'm talking very intelligently for the rest of the day.
Okay. I
You just
presume this
all
will
of a sudden have this really
Yeah.
intellectual conversation over dinner, then go back to normal.
For 3 sentences.
Exactly.
Okay, so that will increase your wit by 18.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
You'll be talking like Harumi then.
Sorry, my apologies. It will increase it by 19.
85%. No.
Yes.
19.
No, 95%.
Is it 95%?
19.
Okay. So my blessing for more hit points, is that 95% as well, or is that you said
No,
85?
no, it was based on his knowledge in Raja Yoga, which was
right,
only
okay.
85.
Right, Yanagi will take the hit points one.
Okay. Yep. 85%.
Harumi will take 1 for wit.
That works fine. You just want to feel very, very, very intelligent or wise, don't you? Or
Yes.
I want to be even more of a smart ass than you
For
already
one
are.
short conversation.
Hey, if it's
I'm
long
going to
for
take
one
Banana
conversation.
Yoga. So,
Gnana. So you're taking the mental attribute,
What's mine called? Raja Yoga.
which is 19. Raja Yoga. Yes.
So what's the percentage on the wits one?
You increase your wit, or well, it's wit or will by 19.
Oh, definitely the wit. So that's a temporary.
That increases your current value for 63 rounds.
It's a nice
what
bonus.
did the Gnana Yoga do?
Gnana Yoga is mental attribute by plus 19.
That's what. Okay, just checking.
It was mental attribute, physical attribute, or hit points.
Correct.
I took hit points. Yanagi took hit points. Baka took the intellect. Harumi
Yep.
took the intellect. Baka with a big clever, with one total smart conversation at dinner time, then back to normal.
No,
Thank the priest, and then say, "Let's set off, lads."
Very good. Okay.
Let's say
So,
thanks
what
to
is
the
your
priest.
BMA?
Whatever Harumi is.
What's Harumi's BMA?
4.
Okay. So in theory, you would normally move 4 through clear terrain, but since this is rough terrain, you're only going to be able to move 3.
When are we going to do a summer boot camp for Harumi and do some speed training? Just like 4 months, pure speed training.
Very good. So, which direction are you going?
To the almost the north, but 10 degrees off it. No, we're going to Oita first, aren't we?
We're going to backtrack to Nishimaya and then take the boat over the lake.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So you're heading south or east or what? Which direction are you heading?
Well, so am I right in thinking that's north? That's west.
This is correct.
So this is east. We're heading east.
But are you heading kind of southeast towards the river again, or are you heading
So yeah,
east down the valley?
southeast to the river? Then I think we'll just head down the river, boys. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Very
Literally
good.
retrace our steps as best as possible.
Okay. So
Well, the point being that if you go another direction, we'll probably run into some more Bakumano and Obakimano.
I think we should go this way, go there, and then just open up a wee bit map, and then come down here like that.
yes, well, unfortunately, it's difficult to see the sun because of the dark storm clouds overhead. So it's easy enough when leaving the valley, but once you get into the woods, finding direction could be difficult because there's no sun to direct you.
True.
So you head over the path into the valley on the far side,
Yeah, we'll just go there.
and
Maybe no.
does anybody have appropriate skills for making sure they find their direction in the way they want?
I don't believe we do have someone for that. We should when we get to a bigger town, we should hire somebody like a guide. Because I was thinking about hiring a porter, because I'm encumbered with the equipment I have now. I was thinking about hiring a porter, just like paying them for a few months. We should probably get a guide as well. Eh?
Well,
I
please
use my-
make a luck roll then, because more likely than not you will find the right path. But if you are unlucky, you might get turned around.
Who fancies
Can I?
that?
Oh, Kinzo.
Oh,
You're
I have to say, can I use my
You're banned from
exceedingly
luck
good
rolls for the
wits
night.
all of a sudden? Can I use my exceedingly good wits all of a sudden to realise we're going through a valley? We just stay in the lowest point in this valley. If we start feeling like we're going up to the left or to the right, then we veer back to the lowest part again.
Well, Kinzo is pretty sure that you have to go that way.
Well,
That's where the chemists are telling him.
yeah, I'm not gonna know
Yeah.
that he's rolled badly. Like, I'm gonna think, oh well, the Kami's guiding him. This is his quest. He must know, and we're gonna trust
Yep.
him. And we're gonna go the wrong fucking way.
Okay. Can I have a luck roll for the rest of the party to see if you figure it out?
Anyone else, please?
I'll do it.
Thanks, Brian. Tim's banned for the group ones for tonight.
Ah!
There we go.
Yes, you actually. What one of the party does realize that you are heading in the direction that you went when you were looking for the valley, and points this out to Kinzo, and you do manage to recover. So you lose about half a day, half a re's travel.
Yuck,
So-
yuck, yuck, yuck.
That's not so
One-
bad.
To
Could have
so
been
you
worse.
actually get
Yeah.
to the river, and you get to about there. Now, did anything in the way of hostile? Nope, nothing actually disrupted your day. So you can settle down for the night with the sweet sounds of the river running in the background as the storm clouds overhead gather together and completely block out the new moon. The wind switches round to the south, and as it gets up, light rain starts to fall. Yeah, it's a pretty miserable night. Could I have health saving throws from everybody, please?
Ooh,
We do have a winter campsite, by the way. Can I remind you, we've got winter
go in
camping
our
gear.
camping gear.
In that case, I won't be too cruel. I'd still like health saving throws from everybody.
That was a 12 for me. I wonder what that's like on health. Oh no, my base saving throw is a 9. Is a
The
9.
Kami is protecting Kinzo, obviously.
Not me.
Oh, definitely not me.
How many do you
That's
miss
by 2 for
Harumi?
me.
Harumi misses by 10.
Ah. Please make another health saving throw.
Oh, God.
You've been there's a risk yourself.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh Jesus.
Harumi wakes up in the morning with the sniffles.
I missed by 3, Dave.
That's all right. The winter camping gear protects you to a certain extent.
And I was cuddled, I was snuggled up with Baka.
Would somebody care to roll for Yanagi, please?
Oh no.
No, what his stats are.
Don't think that's going to be very good.
How many did he miss by? Yanagi's health saving throw is
Missed
7.
by 8.
So he missed
dear.
by 8. That's okay. You needed to miss by 10 or more, so Harumi just got it. But Harumi is not feeling particularly well. As you make your way south through the light rain, the river is starting to get a little more full. 1, 2, 3. If you really push Harumi, you could make it to Nishimeya by nightfall.
Is this still the 23rd?
No,
it's
this
24th,
will be the
sorry.
24th.
24th, yeah. Yeah, we can Shirumi a little bit now and again.
Okay. Can I have another health saving throw, Harumi?
We better push Dave because she's looking ill.
Oh, yes.
Stay out here. And
Harumi collapses
Oh no.
as you get to the village.
Baka, pick her up.
Yeah, I might need to do a bit of weight redistribution, but yeah.
I'll take your rope and whatever else is heavy and you can pick her up, man.
Okay.
Well,
Well, you don't have to carry her far into the village.
I'll take that.
Okay.
hold
You
on,
do.
Dave. I just remembered Yanagi's a physician, so he'll try a physician role last night.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, Yanagi will attempt to deal with the sniffles. When Harumi wakes up in the morning with the sniffles, he will attempt the physician role. Is it a success? Yanagi's physician is 15. Yes. All right. In that case, Harumi, your sniffles are abated, but not completely gone, and you don't actually collapse to the ground. Your sniffles get worse when you actually reach the village, and you are exhausted. Okay. And the villagers are delighted to see you. They had expected you back a little earlier, but you're welcome nevertheless. The headman asks if all was well. Did you find what you were looking for?
We did indeed, Headman. Unfortunately, the way was blocked by a small party of Bakimono and an Obakimono, which we had to deal with.
Well.
Also, the priest at the shrine there, Ukade-san, informed us that he'd sent one of his priests to the village to go to Oita. Unfortunately, the priest hasn't made it.
Well, that's most unfortunate.
Well, we believe he was actually intercepted by the Obakimono, and they do what they do.
Yes, the Lord should deal with them harshly. I will send a messenger to inform him of this sad state of affairs. He calls over one of the young lads who are kind of listening and sends them off to speak to the Lord of the village. And Fuhon'i charges off to visit the local samurai and returns with him. The Lord asks for the details of what happened. He is annoyed to hear that a pious priest has been eaten by the mountain goblins, and he will listen carefully as you tell him what you know. Yes?
Yes, I inform him that we had to deal with 6 Bakimono and an Obakimono. And while searching their lair, we came across the remains of at least 4 humans, because we had 4 human skulls. There may have been more, of course.
Ah, that explains what happened to some of the foresters who've gone out looking for charcoal and so on. We thought they'd fallen prey to wild animals.
It is possible, sir, but more likely they fell afoul of the Bakemono.
Yes, I will send a message to the Daimyo asking for some of his troops to come and beat the woods, and I will set guards around the village. He will
Wise precaution, sir.
He will give you a gold to have prayers said for the soul of the priest, or the spirit of the priest, and the villagers. And he asked the headman to get the villagers to give you their names. And he will then return. The young lad is kind of standing there, looking at you heroes with kind of awe and fascination and amazement. Do you wish to say anything, Benjy?
Is it my place to?
Well, these heroes have travelled through the village and have defeated forest goblins in an Obakemono, and you've always wanted adventure, and
It is true. I have often thought of that life myself.
I mean, you don't want to spend the rest of your life helping your dad out on the lake, do you? So please go ahead and introduce yourself and try and persuade them to spare you from this drudgery.
I will take the opportunity to introduce myself, and I will say that I hear that you're looking for porters. Whilst I'm not the strongest of men, I could certainly fill that role or any others that I might be able to take within the group. I feel I have a smattering of skills that are similar to yours, and I'm an expert craftsman, anything in wood, and I can make it my own, so I'm sure I could be of great use to the party.
You sound like a very useful young man. Very enthusiastic as well. I'm impressed. What do you think, boys? I'll have a look at the crew.
Oh, why don't you
Oh.
test his skills out, Kyūryū?
Why don't we test your skills out?
I would happily, take up that challenge.
Okay. What is your
The innkeeper asks you to kind of step outside.
Oh, we will,
please.
of course.
He kind
We will,
of
of course.
looks around
your-
at the benches and chairs, and any tests of skills, please do outside.
What's your
My
chosen-
appearance should help you with what I am. I am quite nondescript in that I don't appear to have any weapons or anything showing. I seem to just have my carpentry kit, and along with it, what appears just to be a length of chain. That is,
Chain wrapped around his waist.
yeah.
Oh,
chain
and
wrapped
you
around my
do
waist.
recognise the lumps of wood stuffed through the chain.
But I seem to have a somewhat lithe and deathful gait to my walk, and
Okay, so you step outside into the rain, into the mud of the village, and who's going to step out there with him and try their skills?
Well, I want to know what's your chosen combat bugai. Is it going to be someone fighting you bare hands, or we're going to have a wrestling match? Because that'll be Baka. Is it a sword fight? 'Cause-
Right, Yanagi will pipe up. Is that a Kizari you've got wrapped round your waist, sir?
I have been known to use that from time to time in that purpose, yes.
Well, the point is that Fuhon'i will notice that the guy who's just spoken's got a chain wrapped round his waist too.
Mhm.
Oh, fantastic.
Should we do him versus Yanagi then?
That'd be a good idea. Yeah.
Let's see what you can do with that chain then.
Oh, indeed. Let's see what I can do.
Yeah, let's go, Yanagi.
challenge.
Show the young whippersnapper how we roll.
Well, Fuhon'i actually gets to go first, and Make a roll.
Are we going face to face? Can I make any attempts to step sideways, things like that? In this,
I'm sorry. It is raining. It is muddy on the ground outside
Okay.
the inn. It's not exactly. a
not
no-go.
exactly ideal. Yeah,
No, no.
fair enough. I will take the chain from around my waist, and I will make my
Unagi will let
first
you
strike.
have first strike.
I'm gonna turn to Kinzo and say I've got a silver on Yanagi.
You're on.
Oh, there we go. Now we're making it fun.
Okay.
How about
roll
you,
a
Baka?
d20.
You want to bet on the outcome of this spar?
Me? No, I'm going to feel really left out by the fact that they're not going with the gambler of the bloody group. And since I've been chatting to Harumi, a silver on the new guy.
Sure. I'll
wins?
gladly bet a silver.
So Kyūryū's betting on the 1 silver on the new guy. Kinzo's.
No, I've got my silver on Yanagi, Dave.
Fair enough.
I'm betting on the old boy.
Harumi, it's already muddy. It's
I'm
village
adding
street.
to it.
You cast in mud.
Okay, it is doubly treacherous ground, so you're both at -2.
You arsehole.
Are you casting mud to make it even worse for them, Harumi?
Oh, yes.
That is brutal.
yes.
Oh yes, they're like up to like mid shins and that stuff.
What a touch, mate. I love that. Yeah, like, comeback conditions. Let's make it tougher for them. Let's have a real show of it.
Okay,
If we're going to be out here in the rain and the mud,
please
let's
make your
make it
Hold on.
d20
worth it.
roll.
So that's slash 1d20.
You can use
Top
die
left.
roller. Over on the left-hand
Yeah,
side.
top left, the bottom
roll-
icon is a dice.
The bottom icon is a dice. If you click on that, it'll pop up with a dice roller, and you can just press the
Lots of
d20.
options.
You've got all sorts of options.
Gotcha. And
So if you press the d20 in the first column,
Ooh.
that was a d12. That was a d12. Yeah.
12, yeah.
That would have been amazing. 16 is not fantastic. I hit on.
No, that's a failure against your
Yeah.
your
Come on,
skill.
Yanagi. Show them how it's done.
Yanagi will kind of then casually unwind the chain from around his waist, twirl it a little bit, and roll the dice.
Bye bye,
yes.
silver.
In the mud and everything. This is great. This is proper entertainment. Oh, Yanagi!
And he too misses.
Oh, they're slopping around in the mud, just
Okay.
falling in it
I-
and
It's,
getting up.
it's the rain. Okay,
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
secondary, Fuhon'i.
Well, I see his strike and I nod. I nod my acknowledgement that I think I got away with that one. It's now too muddy that, with the knowledge of my skills, that I wouldn't consider trying anything as crazy as jumping, would I?
Try to
You
jump with your feet
Certainly
stuck.
minuses, but you can certainly attempt it.
Well, it was more that what I had
Wait.
planned was I was going to Karumi and then strike, but I think
Oh.
it's a bit risky. So
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah, that's really risky. Do that in the mud. Please do that in the mud.
On a secondary.
You are
action.
playing.
oh, it's the
Would
secondary
point
action.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do a Kurumi Jitsu. We love a Kurumi Jitsu.
Yeah, they are fun, aren't they?
Yes.
Are you,
Uh,
gonna
you are playing to the
attempt hit
leader
him-
of
Are
the
you going
party.
to attempt to hit him with on your secondary?
They're my
or-
favourite, and I'm the leader of the group, so you get.
What are my
bonus
other
points for
options?
attempting that.
Don't forget you.
What are my other
Yeah.
options with the
On a
secondary?
secondary, it's pretty much stand still and or
Yeah,
attack.
have a look on the spreadsheet. You'll find
Parry.
under combat actions.
You can parry on a secondary.
On a secondary, the specific secondaries, you can attack, parry, draw or sheathe the weapon, and
I
you get complicated actions in the mud.
might change length of the weapon with the intention of moving in.
Ooh.
Ah, right, fine. So you are going to close. Is that
Yeah.
right? Maybe.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And on his secondary, is Yanagi going to attempt to strike or parry or what?
Unagi's going to attempt to strike him, eh?
In that case, please roll for Yanagi. Somebody.
I'll get it. Oh, we've got
Oh!
7. So that's on a secondary.
No, that's a miss, unfortunately. Don't forget you're at -2 for the mud and
my
his
God.
armor. So, no. So we revert to primaries.
Just
Uh,
spin around.
As Harumi's
That hits
laughing
on
in the
plus
corner.
Oh, I'm laughing also. I'm almost falling in the mud laughing.
Yanagi's BCS is 15. So halved is 8. Less 2 is
My
6.
mistake. I added on his level twice, which is cheating.
You slipped in the mud as your level tried to be applied twice and failed. So, on your primary Fuhon'i, what do you wish to do?
I'm gonna trip him. I'm gonna use the chain, but I'm gonna trip him and put him on the floor.
Well, you still have to hit with the chain.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Oh.
rotten.
Come on, Unagi. Win me that silver.
The mud that got caught in the links obviously throws your aim off. And Yanagi, in response,
Come on, Unagi. Win this fight.
I'm going to attempt to entangle him.
very good.
Oh,
And I
Good.
believe
Oh,
that is
that-
partially entangled.
that's tasty on a primary.
It's 4 effect
Okay.
numbers of entangle.
Ooh.
Correct?
My secondary, I parry.
Six effect numbers.
Is it? His BCS is 15. Less 2 for the
Minus 2
mud.
for the mud.
Less another 1 for his armor class. Is brings it down to 12, which is 4 effect numbers. Yes. Is there another 2 from somewhere else?
No, it's all right. So my maths is all over the place. No, that's fine.
Okay, no problem. It's the mud. It's throwing everybody off. Okay, you are partially entangled, which makes life a little
Tricky.
more difficult.
I can still parry, can't I? Or at least make an attempt to defend myself that way.
1 second.
Because
Yes,
realistically, it's my best option, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, you can attempt to break 3
Okay,
or cut 3.
that's probably my best option then.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
Secondary.
Right,
Yeah.
sorry. You need to make a speed saving throw.
Speed done off base saving throw or raw.
This comes off your base saving throw, so you need to make a speed saving throw, which is at a -2 because of the mud. You need to roll a 5 or less.
5, yeah, 5 or less. 1 and 4. Here we go. Hey!
Oh,
Oh, dear.
right, you fall over.
Oh yeah, I do.
You
I
are
probably-
on the ground.
I think that's. I think
Oh
that's.
my.
I think Yanagi will
that's
place
enough,
his
boys.
foot on you and kind of
Yeah.
flex his muscles
Yeah, well done,
and
Unagi.
then lean down and help you up.
I thank
Well, you
him
didn't
for
tuck it
being
in
so
time,
gracious
You
and
ended up
helping me
getting
up.
a trip.
Well done, Unagi.
Okay, the bets are settled up. The 2 warriors go back into the inn, kind of discussing the fight, and go and have a bath to get rid of the mud.
Yeah.
Fuhon'i has a little bit more mud to get rid of than Yanagi.
He sure does.
That was entertaining. You may
Here
join
you go,
us
Harumi.
just for that alone.
Here you go,
thank you very
Harumi.
much.
Here's your silver.
Yeah. Go on,
Aye.
go on, Kyūryū, pay up.
No,
I am
I
glad
bet-
to know
I
I'm
bet
in
on
the
you-
knowledge of someone that can maybe teach me more of the ways that I wish to learn.
I bet on your Nagi, Tim.
Oh, you did? All right,
Unfortunately,
I'll pay
he
you.
did, yeah. Okay, Harumi
Bet you wish you weren't
retires
rolling
to
so
her
well now.
room, sniffling and giggling to herself. Yanagi will attempt another position roll overnight before she goes to bed.
That was brilliant from Harumi. MVP for that.
Right, Benjy, just so you're aware, you were acting considerably faster than Yanagi in the combat rounds, okay?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. You went on an 11, he went on a 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's slow for a Budoka.
That's an interesting
That's
build.
because he's a smart ass.
He's a smart Budoka.
Yeah, that,
he's
I
a
was saying
smart,
that
slow
yesterday.
Budoka.
Every time I get killed, it's because I've crippled my will to get the stats from that.
I'm dumb but fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I always build them as well.
Oh, that was quite interesting.
We got dumb and fast, dumb and strong.
Dumb and strong, eh? That was a lot of fun, that, actually. We should do that more often. The
Well,
map was great.
there's
What,
many times that I can practice my skills and try and earn my place in the group, so we can have more fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. You definitely can join us just for that alone. If all the rest of the boys and Harumi are in agreement, of course.
Of
Not-
course.
I don't speak for them all. I just lead them.
So, do you want to
Well,
roll
if the young
for...
lad is going to entertain us in such a manner, yes, of course he can join.
Absolutely. Yeah. I hope he
Are
just.
you going to have Yanagi make another physician roll? He says.
Yes,
Please have him make that roll then.
I'll get that. 12.
I believe that's a successful physician roll. It
Yeah, his
cures
physician roll
the
is 15.
sniffles. It cures the sniffles that Harumi had,
Excellent.
and so she is in good health when you set off in the boat tomorrow to Yamagita.
Does that use up a dose of his medical kit?
No, it doesn't. This is just applying.
fine.
She wasn't actually ill. She had the beginnings of illness.
Yeah.
So it's just advice on what to do. Heat up a stone for her feet in the mats, etc. That sort of thing.
Don't know about you lads, but I have a feeling that Harumi should take several months of health training.
Alongside the speed training that she's doing, aye.
Well, alternate the two.
Yeah. 1 month each. 1 month off, 1 month off. Yeah.
Harumi, what's your view on this as a
you-
skilled Shugenja?
That's a slow fucking
Oh.
skilled Shugenja, I might add.
Oh, take time away from me at the Castle of the Flames. Like,
Exactly.
Aye,
Well,
you need-
that's where
here.
they're going to get a
Yeah,
choice.
the thing is, we need you strong enough to climb the steps of the castle of the flame Harumi in the first place to get there.
I can climb the steps at my own good time.
It's all well and good going
You
there,
are-
but you need to get there.
You are in luck. Dawn the following day, the fresh breeze from the south has grown to a moderate breeze, and therefore it is pushing you along the lake to Yamagita. And providing that the lake isn't too choppy, you should make it quite easily. So, let us see how choppy the lake is. The boatman will make a skill roll. Forget
Very
choppiness. The boatman steers you perfectly. He uses the waves to guide the boat successfully across the lake to Yamagita. And you reach the village.
Being
quite
extra careful
safely.
because he doesn't want Baka throwing up on the boat again.
Baka is obviously looking after Harumi, who's obviously still in fragile health. But you reach Yamagita quite safely and spend the night there. The headman is pleased to see your return and will throw a feast for you. which is not particularly great as a feast goes, but it's still very nice food.
Oh, we're
It's
very grateful.
It's passable.
It's possible.
and you are facing the trek through the rough terrain to get to Surui.
I want to buy some of that moonshine I had on the way up here, because that was good shit.
Okay, well they do have these. They do have the sake brewed in the village, if that's what you're referring to as moonshine.
It's not often that alcohol gets me that drunk, so yeah, if I could buy 2 casks, please.
Well, of course. The headman will hastily check at the back of the inn to make sure they actually have 2 casks of sake, and please make a luck roll to see whether he has 2 casks.
Casks is how many drinks?
20.
Oh, in that case, just the one. Sorry, just the one, please.
In that case, not a problem. That will set you back 1 koku.
But okay.
Oh, you have to tell us what days we're using our food supplies on, Dave, and what days we're like when we have to spend money.
Well, you used 2 days to get to Nishimeya,
Mhm.
and then you ate in the village. The headman welcomed you back, and you got fed, and you've just been fed in Yamagita. So you've used 2 days' supplies at the moment.
Can we just buy supplies
I'm gonna-
somewhere and just spend 2 copper instead of taking
In
2 food
copper.
supply off? Yeah, can we do it in copper?
Yes.
Is there somewhere to do it? Yeah.
Because, I mean, you are going to reach civilization relatively quickly, so just spend the copper.
Okay.
Okay.
Just let us know if it's more than if it's more than copper. The
Yeah.
places it's more expensive, isn't it?
Yes.
Cities.
Well, you are out in the villages, and you just pay the base price here.
I mean, we're just living off rations and topping up the rations when we get to a town, so it is just a base price, I think.
Correct. So, the following day, unfortunately, the rain has stopped. So if you want to trial your skill, it's still a little bit muddy, but it's not pouring rain. No? Okay, fine. Never mind.
Fuhon'i, you said you were interested in doing a little bit of porter work. You interested in carrying some gear?
I am happy to earn my place in the party by doing so.
I think I could just make myself unencumbered by taking off 1 or 2 things. Do you want to take a 50-foot rope?
I'll absolutely take rope off you. I can,
Okay.
yeah,
So
do that.
if you go to the general equipment,
Because you don't know how much it weighs.
it's rope, hemp, and in the number column you actually write 50 because it's 50 feet, and it'll get you. It's 12.5 pounds.
General equipment.
The weight should
Right.
fill in automatically if you just fill in the
And it was
the rest.
50.
50. Yeah, so you just put that in the quantity
Yeah.
column.
Done.
And then put an
Mine
X
just
in
mine just
your
says 12
own
pounds, by the way.
baggage. You then put an X in column V, which is in own baggage, and that means it adds it in at the top.
In own baggage. Nice.
You see you've got the 3 columns.
Yep.
The first column is worn, i.e. clothes. The second is close, sheathed weapons and such like. The third column is in your own baggage, carried in furoshiki sacks, etc. The reason for that is if you look at the top, you'll see that it totals up what's in each of those columns, and in cell 04, you'll see that you are now carrying 41.3 pounds of weight.
Yep.
And that means you're partially encumbered.
There's
And
no point
that
then because I'm
means-
still partially encumbered. You might as well give it back.
If it's
Hang on,
in
hang on.
own,
That means it reduces your base movement allowance, BMA, etc.
Yeah.
It reduces your other skills, etc. However, if you look in cell 03, you'll see status of own baggage is currently carried. If you're going into battle, what you do is you click the drop down from for carried
Nice.
to dropped, and suddenly, because you've dropped your Furoshiki sex, you're unencumbered.
Does that count as a free action before I go into combat?
If you are caught by surprise, it will normally be a primary action.
Primary action, okay.
If not caught by surprise, you can do it before going into combat. Of course,
Yeah, perfect.
if you lose and have to run away,
I lose it.
your Furoshiki sex remain behind.
I still need to lose £2 somewhere.
I think you need to go on that health training. You know, run up and down a bit, lose some weight.
You've got. I'm already partially encumbered, so if you want to give me something that weighs £2,
Hang
then
on, what does the food weigh per
frees you
day?
up.
It's 4 days.
it won't make the party go any faster. But
Well, that was actually something I was wondering because
mean,
I've got quite a high movement action, so I'm probably happy to take a bit more. Because even if I drop a little bit more, I'm still going to be going at the same speed as the slowest person in the party.
I'm going to just miss. I'm going to take 5 food off my thing, Dave. So I'll put 2 copper back for the 2 days that we spent, and the next 3 times we spend food, I'll not replenish it.
Well, you can always give 5 food to somebody else to carry for you.
That's what I'll do. I'll just hand 5 food.
yeah, let me carry 5 food for you.
Go. Take 5 of my food then.
Okay. Well, what you can do is just add it as if you just duplicate the traveller's food parcel as another line and put 5 in, and then put an X in the by other, for example, porter
What
column.
do you do? Duplicate row.
Yeah, just select traveller's food parcel again as a new item. Yep. And put 5 carried by you and 5 carried by another person.
Cool.
And then I increase mine by 5. Yeah. Dave? If I'm carrying it.
That's it.
Make a separate one of mine and carry it and put it as 5.
And on the notes, you can put carried by Baka for that.
Yep.
And under the rope hemp, you can say carried by Fuhon'i.
Yep.
And then you know who's got it. So when they're killed and you have to leave the body behind, you've lost
Yeah.
it.
Nice one. That's me unencumbered.
I love the
That's just
idea
so
that
you
he'll
can show
defend me
off.
more to protect his rope.
That's only so he can show that he moves at a speed of 8.
Fast boy.
Nice.
Okay, so given that you are travelling on the country road,
Dave, just a moment.
mm-hmm.
Fuhon'i's been with us long enough to realise that myself, Kyūryū, and Yanagi are all Budoka. Baka has tattoos, which makes him a Yakuza. And given the frailty of Harumi, she
I don't.
must be a Shugenja.
Well, it's the fact that she reads stuff. I mean, reading. I mean, that's.
Hey, less of that. Cheeky bugger.
And read quite well, fluently in all 3 kanjis.
I'm
Yeah,
very
alright,
sorry,
fine.
Tim.
It's
What?
when he sees Harumi reading
he may-
a scroll of ideographs that. Well, yes, that's.
Go on.
Whilst the party is comfortable,
I'm just.
go for it.
Go on, Baka.
Yeah. I'm just saying. You won't. I don't actually have any visible tattoos yet. As far as you're concerned, I'm a sumo wrestler, and I'll be telling you about my great victory. A week ago, I think it was.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay.
I'm more comfortable with
Sik-
that. So I was
Siki.
going to say, would I be, whilst your associates might be comfortable in the company of a Yakuza, would I, as a woodsman?
Well, you don't recognise him as being Yakuza.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, it makes it
obviously
so much
an
easier.
amateur.
Sorry,
He's
that
he's
was
an
my
amateur
mistake.
sumo wrestler. Yes, he's an amateur sumo wrestler. So he's a bit like a Budoka, but he's overweight for it.
He's just doing a different skill, a different style.
Yeah.
He's a
Over strong for it, you mean?
He's a clown.
Well, yes, he
he's a
does
clown
have
not in his
muscles in
makeup.
his muscles.
The other point to note is that I believe Baka's carrying a Tetsuba.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
a big old boy.
Yeah, every time I see it, I have dreams of
Only one
a
for
past life and an idiot swinging a Tetsuba.
Yes, Kyūryū can
Only
tell
one
you
this
all
time.
about
Only
the
one
Yeah,
this
well,
time.
that.
Tetsubo, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
Kyūryū? He had a close encounter of the
Of the
unconscious
Tetsubo
kind.
Yeah.
Very
So,
recently.
travelling down the road towards Surui, you would normally be travelling at 4, but given that you are on the road, that would go up to 6, but that's cut down to 4.5 because it's rough terrain for the first bit. So, does anything happen to mess your day up? Unfortunately not. So, you travel 1, 2, 3. So you travel for for 2/3 of the day, and you are out of the woods. So therefore, for the last third of the day, you can actually go to, and you reach Surui without a problem.
That was on the 26th, right?
It was indeed on the 26th, which was a dry day. Granted, there's rivulets of water running down from the rain for the last 2 days, but the day itself was dry. The road is passable. But you reached Surui. All is well. Now, where do you wish to go from here?
Let me zoom out.
There is a road heading south, which is the direction of Oita. Or there is the road heading east to join the Saikaido.
I mean, it's a road. I don't think there's any risks to go down this and open up some new map, boys. Wanna go that way? I think it's going to be 6 and 2 3s. I'm guessing that goes there to there, and then we turn left and go there. Whereas that would just be going down there and then going down there. It is 6 versus 2 3s, isn't it?
Of course, it's quicker
It
to
could
travel
cut
on the
across here as well.
Saikaido, and there's less risk of meeting bandits.
But yeah, but this bottom bit is Saikaido, so it's not going to be much different, is it?
Isn't it? Well, I bow to the seasoned traveller.
This seasoned traveller's also a curious explorer.
Very good. So you are going to be travelling south. Is that right?
Unless the boys disagree, do you want to go a new little road just to see the sights, boys? That's the only reason we're going that way.
Sorry, the GM said that there's more chance of finding bandits. Not for going
Actually,
south.
can I just check something? Because
That's a
I'm
few weeks ago, then.
actually from Nishimeya, right?
Yeah, you're from
Correct.
the area.
My knowledge of the area, can I actually open up any of the map, and have I visited any of this area that I can tell the party about? It'd be extra useful.
Given that you are a woodsman, I will give you some extra map in the Nishimeya area.
Oh,
That is unfortunately a loophole that you have found.
very nice, very nice.
Mutter,
I love it.
rumble, rumble.
But not too cheeky a loophole, I think.
Oh, oh, very nice.
Okay. You have
So,
two
this is the
re
furthest
all
you've ever
around
been.
Nishimeya. Yes. Woodsmen tend to limit themselves to where there's decent woods, and there are decent woods all around Nishimeya. But it is well known that there are creatures that come down from the mountains and wild beasts that roam the forests. So, given that you can only normally travel kind of 2 re out and 2 re back, that's about the limit you do in a day. You make sure you're back in Nishimeya at night. You wouldn't want to camp out, would you? No.
What do you think, boys? Any objection to opening up some map, going that way?
No.
Right.
No, carry on, carry on.
Very good. Well, you'll be pleased to know when you wake up in the morning, the wind has switched round to the west, the dark storm clouds are still overhead, and it is pouring with rain. So, you should be quite safe from everything because visibility will be so low, nobody would think that people would travel on a day like this. Of course. Okay. So, you will travel down. You are traveling with your BMA of 4, that goes up to 6. 2. So that would get you to about there. When the party gets to make a luck roll.
Oh, one bad luck.
Oof.
Yes. Unfortunately, they also get to make a luck roll.
Oh, it's goblins.
You meet a group of 4 men traveling up the road towards you. And they stop when they see you and step politely off the road to let you pass.
Bow politely as they let us past.
They bow politely and let you pass. They did actually spot what you were.
So what that one was.
That was their wit roll to perceive.
Oh.
Do we think we can take them?
Yeah, that we're not some mug that they can.
No, we don't think we can take them.
Yeah, they got lucky.
What you're saying was our bad luck was we got intelligent bandits.
So what you're saying is we missed some
yes.
Boodle, basically. We missed some Boodle, great. Okay.
Well, who wants to fight on a day like this?
Well, we've already seen what happens. You just flail around in the mud.
Yes, it
2 party members that had got it yesterday.
Starts throwing more mud spells around. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You actually make it as far as Hatchisuka Castle, where you are stopped at nightfall and they demand to see your papers. And they are demanding to see your papers.
We'll show them our papers.
Which ones?
What papers do you expect them to see, like?
Well,
We had the pilgrimage ones.
which ones? You actually had 2 sets of papers. You
What
had papers.
What papers are they trying to see?
Well, you basically had papers entering the province from Hyuga province. So you are authorized. I mean, from your accents, they can tell you from Hyuga.
We'll show them that
But
then.
you are authorized to be here. But you also had a letter from the priest in the Valley of the Thousand Autumns.
About what we're doing, yeah. We'll show them both.
Yes. Question. Right. Okie doke. You seem surprised to see that. Read it and seem to accept it. And you are permitted to sleep in the stables, in the outhouses around the castle for the night.
And we thank them for their hospitality.
The Ashigaru gives you a look as trying to judge whether you're being sarcastic.
No, I wasn't. Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. And the following day, you can travel up to Oita.
On the walk up to Oita, can I remind the party that there might be people here keeping an eye out for us? There are certain areas we probably should stay a bit more clear of.
Very good. Anybody want to say anything about that? No?
We're not your Miyazaki, are we?
No, Oita is where the rabbit gang have moved to.
Oh, right, aye, we're not scared of them. It's fine.
Okay. So the following day is dry, although there are still dark storm clouds overhead. There was about half an inch of rain fell yesterday, and there is a strong breeze from the west, drying everything out. But the Saikaido is as busy as usual. Merchants moving stuff up towards Oita and bringing it down from the north, down towards Hyuga. And I believe
You said it's not raining, didn't you?
it is not raining today, correct?
I'm still going to look a bit weird, but I'm going to keep my straw hat and my rain jacket on.
Good. And
At least keep my straw hat tilted over my face.
You are checked over at the gates of Oita, but let into the town. Where do you wish to go?
What time of day is it when we arrive in town?
1 second. It's taken you
It's like Kaido, so not longer.
half, 2.5. It's about midday, just before midday.
Okay, we're gonna go see the... What's his name, this high priest here that we've to go and see?
Right, well, Kinzo's going to get a room in an inn, and then he's going to have a wash and brush up and put on a new, clean set of clothes.
Very good.
Yeah,
Please
let's all do that.
knock off. See, it's in Oita, so that will set you back. How busy are they? Reasonably. That will set you back a silver each for the night in Oita.
Yeah.
Presume you all want room at the inn.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, everybody please knock off a silver. For that, you can have a bath, you have a good meal.
If that's a problem for our new member having joined so recently,
I should be alright for now.
I can cover that for you. We can pay that from the party fund for you for now if you want.
Okay, I'm happy to cover till I've earned my way, but
No, we'll look after you for now. Take that from the party loot, whoever's looking after that.
in lieu of my portering skills.
Yeah, somebody take a silver off the party loot for our new porter.
So I'm keeping track of that.
Nice one.
Once I've done that, I shall go and visit the shrine to which this Kawabi is attached.
Do you wish me to accompany you? I would like to go with you. It's...
Oh yeah, I'm not going to stop you.
I know it's your mission, but as the leader of the group, I would like to represent us with whatever
That's
you
fine.
go.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'll go with
Kinzo
you.
does
Okay.
come in with.
To let you know, Oita is a Class D. A Class D town.
Yeah, it's double.
Population. No, it's like Nobioka. It's the big city.
And we're
It's
looking
Yeah,
for the biggest shrine in the city, isn't it?
there are 3 temples and 4 shrines in the city, as well as 5 schools.
And it's the high priest of the biggest shrine in town.
And the
isn't it?
largest shrine is the Chiriku Hachiman Shrine. And you've been advised to go and speak to the Kanushi. Okay, so let me check and see which week it is again. Because... So it's the 3rd week of Mutsuki.
What is the actual date, Dave?
Today is the 29th of Mutsuki. Persistent rain again today. In fact, you've got lightning and a high wind today. It's not pleasant weather.
So we're
The
staying
kami of
a
the
night at the inn before we go to see the shrine then.
You're staying the night at the inn, and Kinzo has put on new clothes to go and see the high priest.
No, not new, clean. Because
It's clean clothes. My apologies.
No, Kinzo is intending going to the shrine this afternoon.
Right, fine. In that case, you have a bath, you put on your clean clothes, and you go to the shrine on the 28th of Mutsuki, is when you arrive. My apologies. It is a much nicer day. Gentle breeze from the east today. Very good. Let me just find the shrine on my list. And it is... Week in Mutsuki. Okay, you go to the shrine. It is quite an imposing shrine. It is, you would guess, a class. It's a level 5 shrine. It's quite important, and it is to the major kami Hachiman, but it also has the minor kami Isetsuhiko resident, or at least one of the sponsors of the shrine. And you enter. One of the junior members of staff welcomes you to the shrine, asks your purpose here.
I'd like to visit the senior priest, please.
The senior priest who's free would be Katsutoki. I can see if he's available, if that would be appropriate.
No, I'd prefer to speak to the Kanushi himself.
Ah, well, he is busy at the moment, sir. I can... if you speak to Katsutoki, he will be able to assess whether it is worth interrupting the Kanushi in his business. I would hesitate to do so without some good reason.
What was the priest's name at the Valley of the Thousand Autumn?
1 second.
I think it's Ukoda, isn't it?
Katashige.
Boom. Hang on, I've got the wrong flaming thing up. That's the one I want. I didn't write it down there. Let me call up the appropriate thing. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. Da-da-da-da. Righty-ho. It's... Let me just post it into a Roll20 so that you've got it. Then I will write it on the appropriate page in my journal. Kuda Kageyasu is the priest.
In that case, I shall say to the priest we're talking to, I bring a message from Okuda-san at the Valley of a Thousand Autumns.
Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Indeed. Is
And he's
something wrong?
instructed me to speak with the Kanushi himself. I don't wish to be a pain in the arse, as they say, but I feel I must speak to the man himself.
He looks somewhat confused, but if you do you have proof you are from you have a message from the valley? He asks politely.
I shall show him the wind charm.
It means nothing to him.
Oh, well, never mind.
You do have the letter from the priest, if you remember.
Yeah, it was. I shall ask Kyūryū to show him that then.
We'll hand it over.
He looks extremely surprised on reading that. This can't be right. One moment, I will go and find the Kanushi. There's something very strange here. He orders one of the servants to bring you tea, and please wait here. And disappears off into the bowels of the shrine.
Oh, that'll put a rocket up his arse.
About 15 minutes later, he returns with his senior, who bows politely and asks if he might be permitted to read the letter that you carry from the priest of the valley.
Certainly, sir.
He reads the letter and looks extremely surprised. There is something very wrong here, he said. The last message we had was that all was well. How has this happened so quickly that he needs to send people looking for something?
Well, sir. Somebody has stolen all the protective amulets or chimes that protected the valley. The result being that the forces of evil have managed to infiltrate and are causing the water that supplies the main lake in the valley with boiling water.
Surely they can't have done it so quickly. I mean, you've just come from there. How have they managed this?
I don't know. This has happened some time ago because I found the chime in my possession in the camp of bandits, which the samurai we were with helped defeat.
But the last message from Okuda-san was only 3 months ago, and all was well.
It might not necessarily have been from Okuda-san himself. As we had to defeat a small group of Bakimano to get into the valley. So it could be that somebody has pretended to be him.
He has a quiet word with his priest, and then invites you into his quarters for a long talk to try and find out what's going on. Up until a couple of years ago, it seemed that they sent messengers to the valley every 3 months or so to check that all was well and carry messages to and from the high priest. But luckily a merchant started traveling that route and offered to take the messages for them and bring the replies from the valley. And they've had messages every 3 months for the last 18 months or so that all was well, and answering their questions, and it appears as though someone has Merchant Kyūryū has obviously been misleading them. Well, if what you say is true, then things are in a pretty poor state, and the valley is at risk. He asks you to explain in detail what the priest has told you, because he did not put it in the letter. The letter was just effectively a note saying that you are traveling to carry out work for the priest of the Valley of the Thousand Autumns, and that you should be given all assistance in doing so. It doesn't actually say what the problem is. So you spend the rest of the afternoon explaining to him quite what the situation is there, and his face gets longer and longer as you do so. He's horrified. Please roll a d20 for me.
This time it is your thing.
This is a wit saving throw for him.
Well, there it goes. 12.
Let me just check. He is... Okay, so he's that level. And his int is that. Okay. When you tell him quite what's happening, his face goes ashen. And he calls in another priest and asks him for the list of shrines that have been attacked in Bungo province. And out comes a list of shrines that have been hit with arson attacks. The priest in the valley, if you remember, said that he thought somebody was invoking the kami and the spirit of fire, the kami of fire, and feeding it power.
Yeah.
Well, if it's the evil spirit of fire, then arson attacks on Shinto shrines could certainly be a source of power for it. Which might explain the rash of arson attacks that have been carried out up along the Saikaido. Somebody's travelling around the island, feeding it power. Have you come across any rumours of anyone who might be doing this? He will ask, hopefully.
Archie, I don't think we have we?
No, you haven't.
We were aware of attacks on shrines by means of fire, sir, but we hadn't actually done any investigation of it. More important to get the chime in my possession back to the valley, only to find out all the chimes that were protecting it have been stolen.
Yes. Well, I think your task is to try to succeed in finding the other chimes, and I think I need to speak to the Daimyo about sending troops to try to find who's committing arson and nip that in the bud. By all accounts, they have disappeared up to the north along the Saikaido. If you remember, you did notice a progressive series of fires starting, and they have disappeared up north. So they hadn't realized and put two and two together that this was more than just some arsonist having fun. He will ask, given the letter from Priest Okuda, is there any assistance he can grant you in achieving your aim? Do you wish him to ask the daimyo for some ashigaru to accompany you?
Not at the moment, sir. I have a means of divining where the missing seals, if you want to call them that, the missing chimes are, and hopefully we'll be able to rescue the missing 3.
I don't think we should say no to a few ashigaru accompanying us. I think that'd be a great idea.
It would appear that my leader agrees that having some extra ashigaru would be good. I will not argue with that.
Your quest's failed if we all get fucking killed by something on the road. Like, if we've got an extra bit of arms and armor on our side when it hits the fan.
If the ashigaru are assigned to us, then we'll accept them.
I'm not going to say no to the Lord's generosity if he is willing to assign some ashigaru as a personal guard to us on this quest of yours. I think it does warrant that sort of importance, so I'm not going to say no to it.
Well, I will have to explain to the daimyo what is happening, and that will, of course, make everything public. You know how the buke are with gossip. But I feel sure my powers of persuasion will suffice to emphasize the threat that is being
I'm sure your lord's going to understand the threat, and also that it's going to take a successful mission by us to stop something really terrible from happening. So if he can aid us in that mission, I think he would want to.
We shall see.
Yeah, bad thing for the whole region if that lake was to not freeze in the winter.
For the whole island.
For the whole island, yeah.
He will send a messenger off to seek an audience with the daimyo and see how quickly it can be gathered. So, please would you make a d20 roll as he attempts to exert some influence to gain an audience.
Someone want to get that?
You need a low roll.
I'll get it then. Oh, someone's got a 4. Nice, I'm glad you got that in before me, Tim. Well done. I'd almost hit the trigger on my 16 and you got in before me. Well done.
He has, the messenger comes back, he has an appointment tomorrow morning to speak to the daimyo. And he will send someone out to get new clothes for you all so that you look appropriately dressed. He will inquire whether... Well, he will get one of the servants to get your measurements and get a tailor to get you the right clothes. So you can all add a suit of new peasant garb
I
to your
have
list,
on my character sheet.
or you can throw away your existing set.
So on my character sheet, Dave, I have peasant garb very good. I've already got a set of very good gear that I can stick on.
Same.
I'm prepared for these. I've got town superior, a spare set, and then I've got a very good set and a winter set.
Okay.
Well carried out.
Yeah, I don't have.
Those of you who haven't, you have a set of good quality peasant garb.
Well, mine's is very good.
Yes, but you're a show-off.
Been at this a while now,
Tim,
you know.
Tim, can I ask, would Kinzo each morning have been checking directions, by the way, on the journey?
That was the thing I was about to mention, was I'm going to look around town, see if we can hire a guide.
In answer to your question, Baka, no, he's not.
Okay.
Right.
I was wondering if we could triangulate a bit.
Well, he's going to, but he needed a bit more distance from where his first one was. He'll probably do it again this morning, or next morning anyway. Now we're in Oita.
What do you think, boys, to get a professional guide, someone that's got tracking and all those skills? Tracking, and what's the one we
Handy.
really need?
Sure, does no one in the party have tracking?
No, we don't have a navigator.
Oh, I came so close to getting it.
Yeah, we're gonna... What's the chance to hire a navigator somewhere like Oita? It's a big enough place for something like that, Dave, right?
It's a town, and you have townsfolk there. You may be able to find somebody who is a tracker.
I think we should hire one
If we're
of
heading
them.
north anyway. Well, I was going to say, if we're heading north anyway, and so roughly 10 degrees is kind of up here-ish somewhere along this side. Would it not make sense to get tracker from the north, so we're not having to pay several days extra travel?
Yeah, right, once we get off the beaten track.
And they'll know the area
Before we
better
go
as
off
well.
the beaten track, you're right. But we should hire a porter. We should hire a full-time porter so that none of us have to be encumbered.
Can I also check, Peasant Garb, you said this was good, and I marked the other one as just in my general equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And then I'd mark it as in own baggage as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent, okay. And to mark it as good, I just put that into the notes.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Right, having finished discussing things with the senior priest, I shall return to the inn and settle down for the rest of the day.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's only like midday after we've talked to the priest. So before I go back to the inn, I'm going to try and find a porter and a guide in town.
Okay.
Right.
Feel free to come with me. Who's got mercantile skills in our group, just in case they try and get a bullshit rate? Has Harumi not got some?
No.
No?
No, Hatsu does, not
Ah,
her.
your other one in the other game.
Yeah.
No one does in this group, eh? Baka, don't you have some? As a bit of a Yakuza?
I remember about Yanagi.
Someone can come with me, so I'm not on my own.
No.
I'll come with you.
Okay. We go into town to try to find a porter.
No.
And a porter and a guide.
Definitely not. Not that kind of Yakuza. Yanagi's got commerce.
Yeah, he'll volunteer to go with you.
There we go. Yanagi has commerce. He'll come with me.
Okay. So you're trying to find someone
I'm gonna.
who's a guide.
We're not
rather than
looking.
tracker.
No, we're not looking for a guide / tracker here. We're going to do that further north. We're just looking for a porter here. Sorry. Just a
Okay,
porter.
fine. In that case, please roll percentile dice.
65.
Fair enough. You can find a porter.
Okay.
What contract are you offering him?
What should I just pay him for a few months? Do you think, guys?
Well, are you hiring him for a journey from point A to point B?
Yeah.
Are
yeah,
you
yeah.
hiring him on a continuing basis?
I'll hire him from Oita back to Oita then.
Yes, but to where?
Wherever
Oita to somewhere to
where-
Oita.
Yeah, Oita to wherever we need to go and back to Oita.
Have you any idea roughly how long that would be?
It's going to be.
Sand?
It's going to be weeks.
Yeah, you said?
It's going to be weeks, possibly months, isn't it? Tim. Well,
He will politely ask you if you could give.
Months.
He will politely ask you if you could give him 2 weeks pay in advance so that he can leave it with his family.
Oh, I certainly can. Yes. What is your weekly pay rate?
For a porter on a trip like this would be 3 copper per day.
So what's that? 30 copper a week.
So that's basically 1 silver per week. So if you leave 2 silver with his family, that will keep him going for a while he's out.
So I'll give him. If I give him a gold, that's 2 silver, and then 10 weeks paid for, isn't it? That's 12 weeks paid in advance. I'll give him it as silvers though. I'll give him it as silvers so he can leave 2 with his family and he can break it up easier.
He looks slightly confused. You don't normally pay somebody in advance. You normally pay him on a continuing basis.
Right, okay, well if he wants to wait. But I was just happy to give him his money up front. I'll give him his 2 just now though. If he wants to take...
Oh yes.
Do you want? Sure, you don't want to take a little bit more to leave with your family? I don't mind. They'll hiring you for a long time. You can leave a few more weeks with your family if you want.
Well, if you're happy to give him 4 silver, he'll quite happily give his family 4 silver.
Quite right. You're going to be with me for some weeks, certainly more than 4. So I don't mind paying you more than that up front, so that your family can eat well and not worry while you're away. 100%. Yeah. So pay him 4 up front then.
Okay. In that case, you have acquired Uchiyasu, the porter.
Thank you.
Please roll 3d6.
Oops, that was accidentally 2. Shall I just roll 1 more?
No, please do good luck.
I got no good luck, no bad luck if it was 3d6.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So you spend the night in the town, in an inn, which you've already paid for. And who's accompanying the priest? The Kanushi is suggesting that the leader of the party and the person who has the blessing of the kami accompany him.
Me and Kinzo will go.
Are you performing the blessing of the kami at dawn today, Tim?
Right back. I'll take that stuff that's carried by you. I'll just make it carried by my other guy now.
So, are you performing?
Not today, because I can't guarantee that we'll be leaving today.
Very good. Okay. So, the rest of the party will be waiting in the inn in the hopes that their leader and Kinzo return with their heads in place from seeing the daimyo. Never a given when you're talking to the bouquet. So, the priest has asked you to meet him at the temple, and a procession will leave the temple with him and a couple of the other priests and appropriate servants, just to emphasize that he is visiting as the high priest, as the Kanushi of the shrine, and will approach the citadel. You are let in by the Ashigaru,
And this is the
who
30th,
are
isn't
expecting you. This is the 29th, actually, because you reached Oita just before noon on the 29th. You then went and saw the Kanushi at the temple in the afternoon.
That's still the
And
28th, right? Okay.
That was the 28th. And he arranged for the visit with the daimyo this morning. You are led into the main chamber of the castle. The daimyo is sitting resplendent in his finery. Obviously, he is giving audience to various people today. He has his advisors around him, guards on the walls, etc. And people there waiting to speak to his lordship and beg for this, that, and the other. The priest will bow, make the appropriate greetings, and then he will announce that the reason that he has come is for the good of the island, as well as the province of Bungo, and asks the Lord to listen before making his judgment, as the tale is long and troubling. And he goes over the legend of the Valley of the Thousand Autumns, that its location is not known, except that it is known in Bungo to be within Bungo province. And as the the main priest of the shrine, the leading shrine in Oita, he does actually have communications with the priest running the shrine in the Valley of the Thousand Autumns, and they have been in communication for as long as the shrine in Oita has existed. Please roll a d20. This is him with his rhetoric and everything else.
I let you get this one, Tim, because I'm making some notes.
Trying to make a good impression on the daimyo. Okay, that's a reasonable roll. Please make another roll for his Japanese classics, so he can throw in the legend that everyone knows. That didn't go so well. Now, reaction of the daimyo so far. The daimyo does not look particularly interested. In fact, he looks as though his time is being wasted. The priest will then launch into the tale of what has actually happened in the valley, and that the priest of the valley believes that the Lord of the Mountains is intent on causing serious trouble for the people of the island by bringing endless winter, or at least very, very harsh winters, to the island. And explains what has happened, and you get one more chance to try and improve the daimyo's feelings.
I'll roll this down. 11.
The daimyo is not impressed. This is all fiddle-faddle, flim-flam. It's legends. Give me something I can deal with with a sword. I'm sure this is just something that you, Gakusho, can deal with. I've spent enough on your shrines. Let's see some action. If there's a real problem, you sort it out. The daimyo is not interested, and although polite, you are all kicked out and returned to the temple disconsolate.
Thank you for his time.
The priest apologizes for his failure to convince the daimyo, and just he could ask one of the junior priests to go along with you if that would be helpful, but he does not have any warriors himself.
Can I be cheeky and ask, were we lucky enough that there might have been a advisor with the daimyo that might want to nudge him afterwards about it?
Might say, listen.
Would he have had advisors with him?
He might have
He has his advisors there.
And they might speak some sense in his ear. I know what you're saying.
Well, you can make a luck roll.
You roll again, Graham, because it was you who said that. Yes.
Okay.
One luck.
In that case, that evening, one of the advisors will visit the shrine and speak to the high priest and ask precisely what has happened, over and above what he's told the daimyo, blah 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 blah, and he will then return and try and speak to the daimyo himself. This guy is obviously impressed with what the priest said, so please make one more roll, as he will attempt to impress the daimyo that there is something in this.
D20.
D20, Baka.
Oh, I've written. Okay, Baka. You
All right,
go.
you've done it.
No, Baka. You said Baka.
Done.
Sorry, Baka, were you saying
Attempt.
you'd done it?
Yeah, Baka.
No.
You roll. He said Baka.
You want me to do it? All right.
Aye.
I did say Baka,
You did
so
say
I will
Baka.
allow Baka to roll it.
So my 16 never happened. Oh, 10.
Not good enough,
Nah.
I'm afraid.
Well,
You needed a decent, very good roll for that.
We're trying to impress the
So-
daimyo. It's going to take a good roll.
The high priest is the Kanushi is
If,
despondent.
if it-
He did his best, but he's
Yeah.
he's not great at.
if we're going to him with tales of armies and spears and things, it'd be a different story. But when it's kami and spirits and stuff, he's not so. Those things don't.
Yes, he will write a letter for you from to the priests of all the shrines in Bungo province.
Will they allow us to
to-
wear armor and carry weapons in his province? Just while we're there, just like on a by the by, just while we are good guys and you
Only
like us.
Nobioka that- I thought it was only Nobioka. We couldn't.
You have been
Oh,
wearing
yeah, we-
your armor
Yeah, we
and carrying
can,
weapons
we can in Bungo
since
province
you,
anyway, can't
since
we?
you crossed the
Yeah,
border.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, we can anyway. Okay, never mind.
Basically,
Only in
he
our
will
hometown we
write a
can't.
letter to all the shrines in Bungo province, advising that you are on a mission for the good of
Yeah.
the shrines and indeed the whole province, and they should offer you whatever assistance they can.
And the guy at the high priest that here at the shrine said that he's got a junior priest he would send with us. So it's not half a dozen Ashigaru, but it's something, isn't it?
Do you want him to send his
I mean,
one of his juniors?
Does that mean a healer? Like how junior? Is he gonna have some abilities that are useful?
I'll say no, just to be annoying.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, fair enough. No, we don't want him
He-
then, unless he's got some useful
yes,
skills.
he will send a priest along with you.
If he's not gonna have any real skill.
So, as long as the priest is welcome, as long as it is voluntary.
And he has some skill.
Also,
That's
it
worth...
will be voluntary.
Does he have some skill that's worth him coming? Because we don't just need like hangers on. If he has some healing ability or something, then yes.
Sorry, Kyūryū would know that the priest will probably have some magical
It's
abilities.
gonna have to have something, surely. Yeah. Well, I mean, the high priest he sees better than the daimyo how important this is because he understands these matters a bit better. If he feels like we should be taking all the help we can get, then I will take all the help we can get, and I'll take his gratefully.
Okay.
But only if that, like Kinzo said, if only if that priest wants to do it. I don't want him being forced to go with us.
Okay. Well, he is of course willing to go because this will boost his capabilities and his position in the temple. Sorry, in the shrine.
Then
Because
Right,
he
if
is
he
doing
comes
this for as long as he comes back. Yes, but I won't say he's expendable, but
then as long as he understands the risks, and then yeah, he may come with us.
I will have to prepare a character sheet for him. I was expecting to get some Ashigaru, but no. So you have a priest called. 1 second. I will paste it into the Terumune is the priest who will be accompanying you from the shrine in Oita.
We will treat him well. What's his walking speed?
I'm afraid you don't get a deposit on him.
What's his walking speed?
I will draw up his character sheet for you.
Thank you. You don't need to do one for my porter, do you?
He's a classic man.
Yeah, just need to know how much you can carry.
Okie doke. So, I presume you are staying in Oita another day, and then leaving tomorrow.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just updating the list. So Priest Terumune joins the party.
It wasn't the half a dozen actually Kyūryū we were hoping for there, but every set of hands is going to help on this mission. A pair of healing hands is very useful.
Let's see. What are his good skills?
You should remember that when we had the divination done about how well this mission was going to go, it didn't come out very well.
You
So
remembered, Tim.
This is one of the obstacles that we're meeting.
So all the help we can get, exactly. I hear you, Tim. I hear you.
Did it specify for whom it's not going to be very good? It could be great for us, and just not for the priest.
Or for the rest of the island.
No, the omens were bad for the party as a whole.
The high priest, sorry, the Kanushi will speak privately to Tim, and his hopes are that this mission will improve his understanding of the nature of the religion. In that this guy's Shinten isn't particularly good.
I would hope so too, sir.
He is very good at a couple of the yogas.
A priest, unlike my porter, a priest gets not Budo, but the other one, and levels
Shugendo.
up. Yeah, Shugendo, and levels up, doesn't he? An NPC one.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not like a higher leg; it's an NPC.
This is an NPC.
Yeah.
Yes. Your guy's probably a red shirt.
Exactly, he's a porter. He's not going to be asked to do any fight or anything. He's just going to walk and carry some stuff.
Oh yes, he'll just get in the way of the first available arrow.
No. I catch arrows and throw them back. Remember.
I have to see you do that. Actually, remind me to target you.
No,
in the future.
that's definitely my D&D monk that I was thinking of.
So you're claiming skills that you don't actually have. That
Kyūryū wishes he could do some D&D stuff. Like he's always trying with the Kurumi Jutsu rules, but he's always failing.
I would agree that Kyūryū is always trying.
Especially with the Kurumi Jutsu, and he's always failing.
The other members of the party probably find him particularly trying. So, the Terumune will ask what he needs to bring with him.
Summer clothes and winter clothes. Walking shoes.
Running shoes.
The books, the calligraphy set, he goes down a list of all the stuff that he's used to using in the temple.
If you can carry these things without them slowing you down, you may bring them. If you want to write and do calligraphy on the road, you can. We're not going to stop you, but if it slows you down, it gets dropped.
I have a Sumie set that he can use that he definitely doesn't need to be carrying his own.
He is very grateful to hear that. He will ask you if you wouldn't mind carrying his favourite pen.
got a porter, he'll carry it for you.
Well, no, if you could just slip it into your Sumie set. It was given to me by my master when I was learning the art, and it has particular sentimental value.
Also, if anybody else is over encumbered, feel free to use my porter. That's what he's there for.
I don't think he could carry the winter kit without going encumbered himself. How much weight can he carry?
The porter?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
1 second while I just load up my NPC.
I've only got him carrying rope and 5 food at the moment, so he's only...
File
It's only
open.
15 weight.
Bushido NPCs. Where are? Dumpty dumpty do. That's the one I want. Dum. Right, so he's just carrying his own 3 pounds at the moment. So
Plus 15 weight of mine. That is 5 food parcel and 50 foot of rope.
okay, you can carry that without a problem.
What about winter camping gear?
That's another £10.
Can I add 10?
10. Sorry, this is a porter, so my apologies. No. If he's a classic man, no.
Okay, that's fine.
The only other thing that he could carry for me would be not enough, actually. Can't carry enough to me down to...
Basically, you can carry 20 without being partially encumbered.
Ah, okay, well he's carrying
His,
15
his BMA
plus.
is 3.
So
I was going to say, he's not carrying the rope that I was carrying, is he? Because if I take that back, can he then carry the other thing?
No, well, yeah, if you took that rope, he could carry that.
Let's do it that way.
Okay.
Okay, he
You're
can carry
probably
20
quicker than me.
Yeah.
Well, he
You're
can
probably
carry
quicker than me,
17 pounds.
but
He's
then I am
carrying
with
his
it.
own stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, you take that rope back then, and he can carry the winter camping gear.
Fantastic. How shiny was his pen, by the way?
Oh. Did it look well used, are you asking? Is that right?
So it's not shinier than the ones that are already in there, like a yellowish metallic look to it or anything, no?
No,
You
no, it doesn't
can't
have
keep
it's
it.
not a gold nib or anything like that. No, no.
Ever the Yakuza.
He's probably going to have to leave his textbooks behind, isn't he? Ah, dear, oh dear.
He will gain more by teaching us than from the books.
Well, if you stop long enough somewhere for him to teach you, he'd be delighted to.
I'm sure he'll talk upon the journey and keep us entertained with tales of the different spirits that he is aware of.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to carry out the ritual the following morning before leaving, Tim? Sorry, Kinzo?
Yes, I am.
Very good. Here's one I prepared earlier. You are in Oita, which is there. And the little line points in the direction shown.
Ah, so that way. Okay.
So that pretty much is where I was pointing.
And that one pointed that
Okay.
way, so we're looking at something like this.
Hmm?
Are we looking at these two, where these two different lines point and meet? So this line here as well?
Depends whether or not the wind chime has been moving.
It's moving or
doesn't it?
not. Yeah, yeah. So if it's not moving, you're looking at...
Sorry, just to check, the original point was where the valley was.
The yellow dot is where the Valley of the Thousand Autumns.
Perfect.
If they are on the Hokkaido, then they are probably moving, roughly. Not, then they're beyond.
Very good.
If they are on the Hokkaido, then it looks like they're moving back this way.
Hmm. They could well be returning it to the valley. They may have realised that, you know, they might be bandits, but they might realise that they're in trouble if everything goes snowy, so they might be returning it to the valley themselves. Is that beyond the realms of possibility?
No.
I don't think so.
I too think it would be highly unlikely for the bandits to return their ill-gotten gains. I mean, they were presumably paid for doing this, or something, because somebody got humans to go in and take them. So they're either working for the Lord of the Mountains, knowingly or unknowingly.
We don't even know that whoever has it now is the same person.
No.
Correct. You don't. But isn't it lucky that
Can I just check
Kinzo...
that the
Yes?
border province, the border line was about there, wasn't it?
One
From the big
second.
map.
Let me move you over to the Isle of Kyūryū again. It is
There's the-
apparently just the
red's the border
line.
line.
Is that red line? Yes.
Yep.
The
Just-
X is where I think the two lines
But if
meet.
that's hold on. So if that's the headway, if that's the point, if we can go back to the other map. It's somewhere around about here-ish then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe this town. Potentially even up here. Somewhere, yeah.
Yes. That
yeah.
is the border there. Roughly.
Looks like it's on the Hokkaido around about here-ish somewhere.
Something about here-ish, yep.
You mean that large
Yep.
structure?
I mean, the
Well,
town
it could
of
be moving.
Nakatsu?
Nakatsu's a town.
Very
I
good.
mean, I'm guessing if you check again, like, thing. If we check again, sort of here,
Check every day anyway.
here, we should be able to be
yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah, yeah, we'll just be checking every day anyway. We'll find out if it's moving that way.
I can draw it on this map if you wish. Might be more helpful.
Yes, please.
I was gonna move to the other one and take a screenshot of it and then put them side by side, but it's fine.
Probably about that direction. Yeah.
Can't see that.
Don't see anything, it must be in the
Oh,
back.
hold on. No, it's no. I'm looking to. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Down here.
Ah.
Ah.
Would you mind putting the one from the valley on as well, please?
Okay.
That's going to be about here then, isn't it? We're talking about here. Maybe here.
No.
The
It
one
still
through
could
the
be
valley
way up
was
here.
going that direction. No, it
Yeah,
was going
it's
that
back
direction,
here.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? So, it's
up
going
here.
that
It's
direction.
still up
so
here.
You're looking up here, aren't you? Something like up here. Yeah, yeah. Let me zoom out. Yeah, so you've got one from.
You do that one. You do that one. I'll do this one.
Yeah, hang on, 'cause I've got a dodgy click button that unclicks when it's supposed to stay clicked. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, so it's not actually in the Katsu.
It looks like, hang on,
If it's not moving.
your one's not quite straight, but mine is. Bring yours down this way a little bit. Yeah, okay. So that's where they cross, if that's at the right angle.
There or
There's no
thereabouts.
guarantee that I've drawn it at the right angle.
Yeah.
And obviously,
So
you're
we're
just
looking at
kind of
around
going
here.
with your memory of what the island looks like.
We don't actually have a
Nobody's
map, do we?
Nobody's actually told me they bought a map of Kyūryū.
We are looking for something like here, I think. Somewhere near the School of Concealing Mist, Nikatsu.
And bear
In
in
that
mind that most of the maps you've looked like are.
I like
Sorry,
that.
hang on a
I
second.
know, I like the sideways one. I know the one you mean.
Like so.
Yeah.
You can see. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
That's the style of map that you are used to, which is not exactly great for doing directions on.
Not exactly top down for a start.
Well, no. It is a work of art. Anyway, what more does the daimyo need for knowing where all his villages are, etc.? Anyway,
How does he triangulate anything?
he has priests to do that for him. Obviously. Or advisors.
Well, we're definitely heading north, so we could.
I believe that sand tables
get a march on.
were invented in Nippon, in Japan. So relief maps were something that was created. So, sadly, you don't have a relief map. So I presume you are planning on heading north up the Saikaido, correct?
Correct.
Very good. It is still heavy clouds on the 30th Mutsuki, and the occasional showers that pass through the day make it a little muddy and uncomfortable, but you are traveling at a speed of 3 Ri per day, which will allow you to do 6 hexas on the Saikaido. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you reach the village of Tarahetsu, providing all goes well. Let me just check and see, because things may be going on in the background. Could I have a D20 roll for the party, please? A 15. The day passes peacefully. Apart from all the showers that keep interrupting. And all appears well. So you have to stay in the inn overnight on the Saikaido. So that will set you back 5 copper each here. Is anybody paying for the party as a whole? Or are you going to pay individually?
You just pay it out of the group.
Okay, I believe you might have a loot tab, which has the money on it.
Tim tracks it.
Okay. In that case, 5 copper for each member of the party. So there's
Plus
2, 4, 6, 7 of you. No, sorry, 8 of you. So that's 1 silver and 10 copper.
Oh yeah, we're plus 3.
So if you would care to remove that from the loot tab on the Bushido game sheet, I would be most grateful. Right.
I'll bring that up to date throughout the week.
Okay, fine. night. Okay. Could I have another D20 roll for the party, please?
What else get this one?
Come on, new boy. Oh,
4.
Kinzo got there
Okey-doke.
first.
Too late. Too
Okay.
slow.
Yeah, I like his one more.
Yeah, I'm happy with that one.
We'll not complain about a 4.
Righty ho. The porter tells you
Yasu.
in the morning. Well, he feels he should mention that when he was sitting having his meal last night, somebody was. He's figured out that somebody was pumping him for information.
About us.
Well, yes, he was interested in hiring me as a porter and wondered where I was going in case we were going to be in the same place so he could hire me. He admired my muscles, etc. I told him, I
Brief
wasn't
description
sure
of
where
the
I was going. Okay. In that
Is this-
case, sorry,
Is this
yes.
Same night or next day?
Oh, this is the morning. He's slept on it overnight, and
So
he.
this is the first of what? Because we're on a new month.
My apologies. You are now in the first of Kizaragi.
Thank you. Okay, give us a description of this guy.
Well, there was nothing much. He looked like a merchant, and he gives you a description. Please roll a d20 to see how good the description is.
Right.
We've both rolled a 19. Pretty shite description.
Well, yes. The description you get is pretty generic. You look round the inn and there's at least 5 people that match that description.
So we're looking for somebody with 2 eyes and a nose and hair,
Yes.
basically.
Possibly looks like his brother.
Yeah,
And he did look a bit like a merchant.
Aye.
What do you mean he looked like a merchant? Well, he was carrying something. What was he carrying?
What was he carrying?
Not entirely sure. But I
The
thought
guy
he
was probably dressed in merchant garb.
well, no, he was a poor merchant. I didn't expect him to be a rich merchant, so he was dressed a bit like me in peasant garb.
Did you get a name?
He was just carrying his luck.
Well, no, we agreed that it was unlikely that I'd be anywhere that he could hire me, so he didn't give me a name.
Seems strange that he had so much conversation with him and he wouldn't offer a name. Keep an eye out.
Well,
for
he
him.
offered me a cup of sake. Anyway, enough. The following day, then.
Can we be
You are
like
Sorry?
on extra edge for being followed,
Yeah,
keeping an eye
probably
out for
would.
people following us?
That's probably a good idea. In which case, let me see whether anything happens today. And each of you gets to make a wit saving throw rather than me just making one for the party.
I was kind of hoping when I said we need to keep an eye out in what do we call it, that my word
Good lord.
can horror it's a pass.
I take
Did
it
you
to
make your
lesson.
wit saving throw?
Failed by 2.
Paranoia. His paranoia has served him well.
So you are watching carefully for merchants dressed in peasant garb.
And Yakuza. I'm watching for merchants and Yakuza.
Okay.
The bonus, that the blessing, that's gone by now.
Blessing went. It only
20
lasted
days ago.
for 12 hours.
Oh, maybe,
So I'm
okay.
afraid that
I
has
just
gone.
want to change this.
Yeah.
So back. Okay. Here we go.
So out of interest, did you try putting the 19 in, extra 19 in, to see what effect it would have?
Oh yes, I moved it. I upped the temporary to it, and it would have been
Did it
nice.
look impressive?
Oh, very impressive.
Yes.
Temporary value would have been 25. That would have given me a wit saving throw of 9.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
Almost as good as Harumi on a bad day. Very good. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't think you can make it to Uehara Castle tonight, so you stop in Kamikoa. Although you may not get there, because Baka spots somebody he recognizes. You may remember you thought you saw somebody you thought you recognized from the Rabbit Gang further south. There's a party of 3 people following you. They appear to be moving roughly the same speed as you. Obviously, it's a merchant and a couple of porters. And one of the porters, when you stop to tie up your getter, which worked loose when you shook it enough, you recognize one of those porters as that Rabbit Gang member that you saw to the south.
When we're going through one of the villages, towns / things, I'm going to ask party subtly to turn right down an alleyway beside of them.
When do you actually spot them? How far through the day?
And as they come around the corner.
I'm sorry, it's just as you are getting to Kamikoam. They're obviously catching up with you when you spot them. So you're going to have to do it in Kamikoam.
As we come into the village?
Yes?
Yep. Fine.
Okay, speak to the party leader.
You know what's going on, and Kyūryū.
Yep.
Next turning on the right, let's take the party down there.
Yep.
Just trust me on this.
Yep. Yep, exactly. I'm trusting you. We're doing exactly what you say.
Okay.
As soon as we're into the alleyway, I'll let them know we're being followed. They should be coming around in a second.
Okay. You look back out onto the main street and you see the party of 3 slow look down the alley and then continue on towards the inn.
What do you think, Baka? Should we?
That's the guy. That's the one I spot. That's. Oh, I'm up. He's Rabbit Gang. Definitely up for taking him.
No, but I mean, we're in the middle of a village. We don't want to do that. Should we push on for the night and maybe go to Uehara Castle and then just try and get them somewhere further up the road where we're not in a village? I don't know. Should we just try and lure them into an alley here and beat them up? What do you think?
I mean, we could head out just outside the village, set up an ambush for them just outside the village.
The gang that
I imagine if they see us walking out of the village.
The gang that's been following you, would they have seen me with the party? Have they like kept an eye on us as we've been walking up? Because if they wouldn't recognise me,
Not entirely sure. Possibly, if one of them is the guy who was talking to your porter yesterday, then they might have seen you all in the inn yesterday.
I'm just wondering if I could be perceived as another sort of like porter stroke, you know, sidekick that they could speak to and try and get some information from.
Yeah. Like they.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there a way
You were eating your meal with the party last night rather than the porter, weren't you?
Yeah, okay, that's going to do it, isn't it? I wondered if I could lead them somewhere and then over
to
and
be
jump
fair,
them.
Dave, I would have Uchiasu eat at the same table with us. This porter I've hired, he's here to do a job just like the rest of us. He's no lesser than any of us. He would eat with us.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, he would have eaten with you and then gone off and sat and rested by the fire, and was then offered the drink.
Yeah.
So there is a chance that you wouldn't know Fuhon'i was part of your group. Possibly, might think he's another porter. But at the present moment, you are in an alley discussing things. They've headed off towards the inn up the street, by the side of the psychiatrist.
Kyūryū, can I suggest? I am more than up for going in there when he's there, getting him to meet me outside, and then we'll have him.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go along with whatever.
I know who he is.
Yeah, we know who they are. I'm happy to go along with that.
Okay. So you are going to leave the alley and go up to the inn yourselves?
Are they around the corner?
They have gone into the inn.
How busy is this village/town?
It's on the Saikaido. It's busy.
Me then. Yeah.
No, there's
See,
You know
we
the
wasn't
inn
getting
we
into
use.
trouble
You know
for
the inn we
starting a
use.
ruckus.
You know,
Yeah, there's
the
gonna be
inn
a
we use
police force.
for the marriage scenario. Effectively, I'll use the same inn if you decide to have a Barney in the inn.
I don't
Okay?
want to start a ruckus. Like, I don't know. That map was excellent. I would love to see that map again. To be fair.
It
Well,
would be
stop
just
ruckus then.
I would be trying to go with them outside the inn.
I'm sorry, you're a famous sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
You think he's going to go outside with you?
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I'm going to be challenging all three of them. We got three of you.
So, are you going up to the inn? They have disappeared into the inn and obviously going to be staying the night. Are you going to go to
I
the
still
inn,
reckon we
or
should
are you
go
going
in.
or are you going to carry on into the night and travel at night up to the next place,
Sounds-
which will be Wahera Castle?
That sounds a terrible idea.
I'm up for going into the inn and sitting right next to them whilst we eat our dinner and basically making it very clear we know what's going on. I'm all for making them feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
And if they start something, well, that's just us defending ourselves, isn't it?
Honest Lord, he threw himself repeatedly against my fist. Come on, oh party leader.
I was just
Are you
giving
going
him a
to are
very-
you going to take them to the inn, or are you going to camp out here in the alley, or are you going to stride onwards into the night?
I don't think we should take them on. We should start a fight in the inn, Baka.
As I said, I'm not starting it, but I'm
Is
just
there-
certainly letting them know that we know.
Is there more than one inn? Are we going to have to stay there anyway?
There is one inn.
Right, well, let's go to the inn, surely.
Let's just go to the inn. Let's just let. I mean, there is the option of just say, look, guys, we know you. we don't give up the idea of even trying anything, because we'll kick the shit out of you. We could just confront them and say that. Do you know what I mean?
I think we can do that by sitting right next to them.
Yeah, exactly. Just sit next to them at the bar. All right, boys, how's it going? Way up to like.
Okay.
Just yeah.
You walk into the inn. The innkeeper will for you rooms, etc. Room for the night. And there'll
The
be
7 of us will just surround them at the bar.
5 copper each. So that there's 8 of you.
Oh, there's 8 of us,
Isn't
right? Aye.
What are these rabbits you're worried about? Asks the priest. He's not heard of any rabbits. Are they diseased or something?
No good, priest. They're Yakuza.
Don't think you should worry about them too much.
He says a short prayer to the kami. Well, if anyone's in league with the Lord of the Mountains, it would be Yakuza. They don't lead upright lives. They are.
Funny you should say that. This group have been known to work with they're as low down scum that you can possibly ever come across. They're not good, honest Yakuza. They're low down scum Yakuza that are willing to work with.
Not like you, eh?
He looks surprised. Are there honest Yakuza?
I know one.
I'd heard that they were all lumpy face monsters. I agree with you, priest.
No, you've misheard. They like to lump you in the face, not lumpy face.
I know one that's alright.
Well, it is normally
one.
It is normally the responsibility of upright citizens to notify the local lord of any Yakuza because they don't pay their taxes. He appears to be moralizing. Anyway, you all settle down in the inn, and the 3 that you have seen return from their room and settle down for a meal. You sit yourselves down at the next table, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
With my chair sitting facing theirs.
They studiously ignore you. And unless, of course, you offer polite conversation, in which case they will engage you in polite conversation. No? You're just sitting there staring at them, are you?
No. I'll just be chatting normally with the rest of the guys. If I ever make eye contact with the one that I recognise, I'm just going to wink.
Does he actually manage to avoid? No. He does actually. You catch him watching you, and you wink at him, and he immediately looks away, and ignores you for the rest of the evening. Very obviously. We're
going to need God.
Do the other two? No, the other two don't pick up on that. And after they've had their meal, they will go up to spend the night in their rooms, sleeping, like all honest travellers.
We're going to need a guard rotation tonight, guys.
Yep. It's not a problem. There's 8 of us now.
Yep.
The 6 can do guard. 2 and 2.
2.
Uchiyasu asks politely, were you hiring him as an Ashigaru?
No, you don't need to do guard,
Yeah.
sorry. We're not counting you.
Yeah, him and the porter, you can't really ask him.
It's more expensive if you want me to act as an Ashigaru.
No. You go to sleep.
We need you well rested for tomorrow.
You You don't think he'd make a very good
I'll
Ashigaru?
take the midnight shift, the middle shift with someone, with Baka. Me and Baka will take the middle shift.
Can I suggest that potentially you go with the new guy? I'll stick with Yanagi because he's got the better wits.
Okay.
And then
Can I have
Tim
a wit saving throw from the party, each of the member of the party, please, as you're sitting down discussing things in your room.
No, thank you.
Oh, yes, please.
oh, this is definitely my business. I'm on
Nice
this
try,
one.
aye. Take the
No.
lead, mate.
Baka stands up, pulls aside the shoji screen, and kneeling on the floor in the corridor, doing up his gaiter, is one of the three.
I'm going to grab him by the scruff and yank him in,
Yes.
and then shut the very shaky screen.
He opens his mouth. He's obviously going to start shouting.
Cover that mouth.
Sit.
Can I clamp a
Sit.
massive hand over his mouth?
Bentley, sit.
Yes.
Sit. Sit.
Are you talking to the dog, Brian, or this guy?
No, the dog.
Oh,
Well, I could be talking to the guy too. So.
Well, the guy can't sit. He's currently being held off the ground by this sumo wrestler with a kind of big meaty hand over his mouth. He's struggling,
Okay.
but he's not getting very far at the moment.
I want to pull down the back of his collar to see if he's got an Izumi.
I'm sorry, you can't because your hands are occupied. One is around him. One is holding his mouth.
Pull the shirt down. Pull the shirt back.
I'll grab
I want to
his
see if there's an
shirt.
Izumi.
I'll grab his shirt and rip it open. See if he's got any tattoos.
Yes, he does.
He does.
Right.
Should we knock him out?
Do you want to talk to him first?
I'll knock him out and then wake
I
him
don't think
up
he's
and
going to be
then
very
talk to him.
chatty.
I don't think he's going to be
Okay.
very chatty in the enemy, yeah.
Yeah, not right now.
Should we just knock
Yeah.
him out and keep him in our room and wait for his mates? You lost someone, boys.
Yep.
He was putting on his getter as if to go out, is that right? Does
Well,
that mean...
he was knelt down in the hallway
Listening to
doing up
us.
his getter.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's
It
just
might
pretending
be
to
he
do
was
his
listening at the
shoelaces.
shoji screen and not
Yeah.
doing a very good job of it.
He's just pretending to do
Other
his shoelaces.
shoji screens. Are there other shoji screens that lean up like in other sides of our room?
There are shoji screens around the room, yes.
So there could be people behind
If you-
other.
Oh, there could be people behind other shoji screens.
Boys. Have a
So
look.
let's check out. Quick patrol. Are you
Is there-
not? Is someone knocking this guy out?
Aye, I'll knock him out.
Have you got like? Can you do it with jiu-jitsu or something like that to choke him out?
I can do non-lethal damage, or I can do a jiu-jitsu choke. Aye, I'm better at Atemiwata. I've got a better chance at knocking him out, like, but probably takes a few hits to do that.
Given how many of you there are, there is no way he's getting free, and you can knock him out.
You don't need us to roll for it. It's an inevitability, right?
No.
Aye, okay. We'll knock him out.
Now we'll take that 50 foot of rope we just bought.
Yeah. Well, the 100-foot of rope we just bought because we've got two, remember?
Oh yeah, we'll just use 50 on him, and we'll wrap him right up.
Save the rest for his mates.
Okay.
Anyone got any rope skills? Because it is a skill in this, isn't it?
Joe,
About half an hour later, there is a knock on your door.
Is that his mates?
Who's
Right,
answering?
everyone. Can we just all be sat quietly, and I'll just open the door?
Aye. Just
What
open
have
the
you
door.
done with rope tied up guy?
He's just sitting in
He's
the
in
room
your
with us.
room,
Yeah.
tied up with rope.
Just sitting on the floor tied up.
Okay. Who's
waiting
opening the
for
door?
his mates to come and get him.
Okay, Baka, you open the door. Outside is the innkeeper.
Hi there.
And one of the other three. Sorry, one of the other two. Excuse me, sir, but this gentleman is concerned about one of his colleagues who was apparently missing. thought he might be in with you playing dice or something.
Yeah. Nobioka rules. He's losing quite badly at the moment.
And he see past you. Wit saving throw for the innkeeper.
He's a big fella.
I'm trying to fill the gap as much as I
He
can.
fills the doorway.
Oh yes,
like,
you're filling the gap as much as you can. It's a case of whether he can see past you.
he's got me standing behind him.
Oh yeah.
No, he's in there. Calls the guy from the. I can see him. If you ask the gentleman in the doorway to move to one side, he must be playing dice or something. Do
you want to come in and play? Do you want to come in and play too? There's always room for one more.
Oh no! Gambling is forbidden to my porters.
Well, that's why. No, that's why we don't play for money.
Aside, so I must chastise him.
Oh no! You need to understand. That's why we don't play for money. There are other forfeits involved in this one. So you play games with us. You play games with us, and there are forfeits to be had.
Play silly games, win silly
I demand
prizes.
he returns. He is my porter, and he must work for me tomorrow, and he needs to get an early night. Innkeeper?
Yeah.
Please.
Except he's still got a few more turns yet. Don't worry, I think he's getting a bit of a sleep anyway.
Innkeeper? Please ask this gentleman to step aside. I must recover my manservant.
Can I just smile at the innkeeper?
I'm sorry, sir, but games of chance are not allowed in the inn.
From what I can understand, this wasn't a game of chance. It's to be very much deliberate.
I shall release
And then I'll glare at the other guy.
and then drag him over to
Unconscious.
They're holding me prisoner, Lord. They're holding me prisoner.
No, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to let you. We're letting you go because the innkeeper's asked not. I suggest you leave and don't come back.
Don't you or your friend or your other friend come to play with us again, because you'll just lose.
Please roll a d20, Tim. Intimidating, basically.
Go on, Tim. I'm standing up, like, looking at them at this whole time as well, like. Ever since Baka went to the door, I've been standing next to him.
You get a bonus for Baka having kind of throttled him. He does
Hey,
not
12.
say any more. He sidles past Baka and is promptly slapped across the face by the other guy for leaving his room and playing dice with strangers.
Oh, you want these as well? And I shall give him his gaiter.
Chuck them at his head.
He doesn't.
No.
He doesn't. He doesn't thank you, but he takes them and walks off, being chastised by the other person. The innkeeper thanks you for not causing a disturbance, but please, no more games of chance.
Hey.
There'll be no more games of chance.
Very good. I think that is probably a good time to finish for the night, because I think tomorrow's journey might prove interesting, yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, I will say good night to you all. Hope you enjoyed it.
Good night,
and I
Dave.
will
Thank
see
you very
again
much for the
in
game.
2 weeks.
Good
See
night.
you in 2 weeks, everybody.
2 weeks time.
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Good night,
Right.
all.
See you guys.
Good night, all. Bye bye.